Avengers weren't my first family. At some point, we all have to choose between what the world wants you to be and who you are.
Welcome back, everyone. It's Charlie. This is going to be my new Marvel Phase 4 Avengers video. Marvel just revealed a bunch of details about what's going on with their next Avengers roster in the next generation, so to speak, of Avengers. So if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to get all the videos. We'll do a new Amazon giveaway. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber and let me know who you want to be on that next Avengers roster in Avengers 5. So just breaking everything down, starting with number 5. Recently, Marvel did a big Phase 4 interview and revealed some key details about what's going on with the characters in Marvel Phase 4, with the legacy Avengers after Avengers Endgame, and the characters that will be part of the next Avengers movie in Avengers 5 when they eventually get around to making that movie. There were actually only a couple Avengers actors who said that they were done, for the most part, with Marvel movies after Avengers Endgame. They killed 2 and retired, quote-unquote, a third one. Iron Man and Black Widow died, confirmed, sacrificing themselves, Black Widow to get the Soul Stone on Vormir, and Iron Man snapping the Nano Infinity Gauntlet. Marvel did confirm that they are both dead, actually dead, after the end of Avengers Endgame in 2023. But the big thing here is all about what's happening during the Black Widow movie. So Kevin Feige and Marvel said that the Black Widow movie would start their new Marvel Phase 4 story in a much bigger way than they did during Spider-Man Far From Home, because technically that's a Marvel Phase 4 movie, but it's really more of an epilogue for Marvel Phase 3. So it was more of a teaser for Marvel Phase 4, like that little tag at the end scene, we can't wait to show you what comes next. The Black Widow movie is really the first Marvel Phase 4 movie. So when they announced that the plot was actually supposed to be a prequel set after the events of Captain America Civil War but before Avengers Infinity War, everyone was confused about how the movie was going to start a new Marvel Phase 4 Infinity Saga style overarching story that they just teased through all the Marvel Phase 4 movies. Like, what is the next big event that they're building up to that they'll start teasing during the Black Widow movie? So this interview that they just did that posted clears up a lot of those details. The Black Widow movie actually makes a lot more sense now. Number 4, the director of the Black Widow movie, Kate Shortland, said that the movie is an origin story, just not the origin story for the character you expected. Most people expecting a Natasha Black Widow origin story, because we haven't really gotten that, they've only referenced it in previous movies. This was her full quote from that. She said, Kevin Feige realized that the audience would expect an origin story, so, of course, we went in the opposite direction. And we didn't know how great Florence Pugh would be. We knew she would be great, but we didn't know how great. Scarlett is so gracious, like, oh, I'm handing her the baton, so it's going to propel another female storyline. What that means, them going in the opposite direction, quote-unquote, as you probably guessed, is that the Black Widow movie is an origin story for how Yelena Belova, played by Florence Pugh, becomes the new Black Widow of the MCU heading into Marvel Phase 4. Maybe that's not a big surprise for a lot of you. Some of you probably guessed that she would probably become the next Black Widow heading into Marvel Phase 4. There were some people, I think, that were hoping there would be some big scroll twist and Natasha would come back and reveal that she was really alive in present day. This destroys a lot of fan theories about the Avengers timeline through Endgame and confirms a bunch of other theories about the future of the MCU. So obviously, first big thing, the Natasha Black Widow is still confirmed dead in present day after the end of Avengers Endgame in the year 2023. That is officially right now the present day of the MCU. The Black Widow movie will probably have some other flashbacks referencing Natasha when she was even younger, but mostly it takes place right after Captain America Civil War. There were a lot of people asking why the Hulk couldn't bring Natasha back with the Infinity Gauntlet snap, or why she couldn't come back after Captain America returned the Soul Stone to Vormir. The Russos and the writers of Avengers Endgame basically said that bringing her back would completely undercut the dramatic weight of her sacrifice, so no dice, there was no way she was going to come back to life at the end of that movie. Also, Scarlett Johansson revealed that she was the reason why there was no funeral scene for Black Widow. She said that Natasha wouldn't want a funeral because most of them didn't even really know her. That's kind of the theme of the Black Widow trailer. You don't really know my past. You know a lot of things about me, but you don't know the real me. Number 3. Also in that interview, Scarlett Johansson said that she was metaphorically passing the baton to Florence Pugh's Yelena Belova Black Widow, which means passing the mantle. It also means Yelena Belova survives the end of the Black Widow movie into present day after the events of Avengers Endgame. There were a lot of theories about what happens to her character, but where was Yelena Belova during Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame? That's a big question mark. That will also probably be explained during the end of the Black Widow movie. So this is where I think that Thunderbolt Ross comes in. He seems like he's in some important parts of the movie in a very Nick Fury type of role. So we know Yelena Belova gets her origin story as the new Black Widow during the movie. Her backstory is actually very similar to Natasha's. They were effectively sisters growing up together inside the Red Room program. Like, they talk about being a family in the Black Widow trailer. Red Guardian was kind of their surrogate father. The Yelena Black Widow was kind of their surrogate mother. So Yelena Belova has that same red on her ledger backstory problem that Natasha had. She committed a lot of war crimes while she was one of the Black Widows inside the Red Room program when they were all still active. During Avengers Endgame, right before she sacrifices herself, Natasha, Black Widow, has this big speech about how Hawkeye saw past all that and gave her a chance to do something better with her life. That's probably a reference to Budapest, which hopefully they'll pay off during the Black Widow movie. But early theory here, there's a similar moment for Yelena Belova at the end of the Black Widow movie where Thunderbolt Ross offers her a chance to clear the red on her ledger, work for me, or you can rot in prison for all the war crimes you committed while she was a Black Widow. Like, you can stay here in the raft for the rest of your natural life, or you can work for me and earn your freedom. So number 2, here's where we get to the new Avengers roster, Avengers 5 and Thunderbolts. Because it's going to be such a long time before Avengers 5 happens, the earliest based on this movie schedule and all the subsequent delays is like 2023, 2024 is going to be a long ass time before we see that movie. So it's more likely that they want Florence Pugh to come back before that happens in another project, implying that something with the Thunderbolts will probably be happening sooner and possibly on Disney Plus, maybe a movie. They haven't really said what their plans are for the Thunderbolts team in the MCU yet. They're slowly setting up the Thunderbolts inside the MCU, starting with Falcon and Winter Soldier. They have all these villains or former villains that are still alive after Avengers Endgame and still rotting in prison on the raft, which is kind of Thunderbolt Ross's base of operations. Baron Zemo is just going to be one of the first ones inside Falcon and Winter Soldier. He is a prime candidate and he's led Thunderbolt teams in the past. Marvel's kind of implied that temporarily, after Avengers Endgame, the Avengers team is kind of on a hiatus, with all the surviving Avengers team members off doing their own things for the next couple of years. Like, Spider-Man has way bigger problems short-term to deal with than joining another Avengers roster. But there are a lot of other people out there, a lot of other villains that would want to take advantage of the Avengers not being active. So Thunderbolt Ross is sort of the person that would be called to step in by the World Security Council, tasked with holding the peace in the world. He's already creating a new Captain America with the US agent character in Falcon and Winter Soldier by restarting the Weapons Plus program, which is just a version of the Super Soldier program. We'll see all that play out during the Falcon and Winter Soldier series, so that's just the beginning of that. So you already have 2 members that could join a Thunderbolts roster. But you can take your pick from any of the other Marvel villains that are still around they haven't killed off yet. You have the Ghost, you have Red Hulk, Thunderbolt Ross, you have Yelena Belova Black Widow now, confirmed. There's still the Abomination and the Leader who are chilling out on the raft in prison right now. They even have Justin Hammer to make all their weapons for them. Number 1 though, as for the next Avengers roster in Avengers 5, even though short term it seems like Yelena Belova Black Widow will be doing more Thunderbolts type stuff with Thunderbolt Ross, when Scarlett Johansson says she's passing the baton to her character metaphorically, that implies she's also going to replace Natasha on the next Avengers roster along with people like Falcon, who are eventually going to take the mantle of Captain America. There are a bunch of other more powerful characters that'll be joining that next Avengers team in Avengers 5, like Black Panther's probably the best example, but you get the idea. Marvel Phase 4 is swerving on some of the origin stories and doing origin stories for some of the people who will become new Avengers eventually. They're even doing that a little bit during the Eternals movie. They won't all be Avengers, there's way too many characters in that movie, but Kevin Feige implied that Kit Harington's Black Knight would cross over in future Avengers movies, bigger team-ups down the road. That movie's coming out in February, so hopefully we'll either get the full trailer later this summer, or they'll just wait to release it till November when they drop the Black Widow movie. But let me know in the comments, if Yelena Belova is the next official Black Widow in the MCU, which next project do you want to see her appear in during Marvel Phase 4, either Disney Plus series or Marvel Phase 4 movie? Marvel's been kind of quiet lately, but there'll be a lot more big Marvel news this summer because of all the Comic-Con stuff that's happening really soon. So I'll do as many videos for everything as possible, but leave all your requests in the comments below. Everyone click here for my new Guardians of the Galaxy 3 Easter eggs video, and click here for that deleted scene of Michael Keaton's Batman from Crisis on Infinite Earths. Thank you